Hey folks, Landstryder here. Welcome to episode 17 in my Utopia Resurrection series. This pack's available on the Feed the Beast launcher, and today we have updated to the 1.0.1 update. And let me just tell you, if you're thinking about it and you haven't done it yet, don't do it. Because it's caused us all kinds of problems here on the server. There's a number of uncraftable recipes. Apparently a number of the configs did not get included in the pack the way they were supposed to. T-Fox is working on fixing it. There's going to be a 1.0.2 update really quick. So I don't think the 1.0.1 is ever going to be a recommended update. So don't worry about getting it if you haven't gotten it already. But we at least get to preview some of the features that are going to be in the eventually recommended update. Now you might notice up here, I'm just going to go through what we had to do to get our system working again. I got my resonant energy cell over here that's powering my energy acceptor. This is receiving power from down below. Remember, I made we made the ender generators, and I'm a bit disappointed in these, to be honest. The garden of mini ender pearls that we have up there are definitely not enough. So we went and I set up my auto spawner with, and those are loud. I set up my auto spawner to kill Enderman. I got an Enderman in a net, and this we went and put some cursed earth underneath our blaze spawner, so that it would run even when there was not a person nearby. I believe that's how that's supposed to work. It does seem to work that way now. So we're getting blaze powder and some ender pearls from that. And we are still not resource positive on power, so I am still occasionally having to go out and find some Endermen and kill them and get some Ender Pearls just to make sure that the base continues to run. When we first logged on after the update, our resonant energy cell was completely drained of energy, so I think when we updated it, it wiped out the internal storage of energy. So we were with zero power. We had no power for our ME system, and we didn't have access to it in order to get the parts for that. We ended up connecting. We tried to connect the clockwork engine. That's Teddy's handiwork there, and now I can't remove it because apparently forestry machines can only be removed by the person who put them down. So at least that particular one, I cannot remove that clockwork engine until Teddy here comes back online. He can remove that. That's not a big deal. It's just there. What we ended up having to do to get power, eventually we got a steam. We got a steam dynamo from over at the old treehouse base. There's still one sitting over there. Connected it up to the energy cell. Got it some water and some coal and stuff, and disconnected part of the ME system so that it wouldn't be drawing as much power, so we could access our drives and our crafting grid up there. And then we were able to get the other energy acceptor. There's a second energy acceptor that we have available. Connected it to our IC2 power coming from the nuclear reactor, and then we were able to access our ME system for a while at least. So in light of that situation, because we were stuck without ability to feed power into the ME system, I installed this IC2 power line with a EU splitter. What this does is if we need to, for some reason we run out of RF, or that system depletes, all we need to do is to get our ME system to come back online is flip this switch, that'll connect up, and then we can start powering our ME system with our EU power. But we don't want to use up our nuclear material any faster than we have to, because running the ME system on the nuclear reactor, we are down to our last set of nuclear fuel rods. So we are nearly out of uranium already. So we're gonna have to figure out some kind of way to get uranium. And I think what I'm probably gonna end up doing with that is doing some bees or something. I was hoping that Profound would come around, get going on the bee stuff, but he's not having a lot of time. So I'm gonna probably end up having to set up the bee lab and at least go through and get that. So also new in this update, obviously our advanced generator is gone for the time being. That is supposed to be brought back later after Bidoo upgrades it to work with the latest version of Buildcraft and everything. So It's supposed to come back in the later edition, but it does not work with all the other current mods that are in right now. So they took it out for temporary. It's a temporary thing. Other news: Chisel. We got a new version of Chisel. We have Chisel 2, so we can see we've got some new Chisel blocks. Got some warning signs. So high voltage, fire hazard, and radioactivity. If you go through that door, we don't want to go. So just a little warning sign. I kind of like that. And there's another major issue that we had with the update is if you had any forged micro blocks that were factory blocks, they all turned into Attica wood planks. So I've got all these covers and micro parts that I've had to go back. I'm gonna have to go back around and change. I had them like they were around here. I've changed out some of them, but I left a few just so you guys can see that this is what they're going to look like if you update. Because the Chisel 2 mod is somewhat compatible with the old Chisel mod, Chisel 1 or whatever it was in there before. Most of the blocks come over just fine. Like I didn't have to change any of these, and if it would have been really bad if it wasn't compatible, because our entire base is pretty much made out of Chisel blocks. But those are all fine. The only thing that really suffered, it seems, is the micro blocks. Okay, and you might be noticing we're getting these death messages down here. That's another issue with the update is we get death message spams, especially. I mean, you might not get it in single player so much as you do on a server, and that's because COFH or thermal expansion core, the core of that you can see over here in Raccoon's lab. He's got some blocks to fix too. So, but in COF core has the thing where it will announce anytime a named mob gets killed by anything. So like throughout the world and different people's mob spawners and stuff, named mobs are getting spawned and killed for however. And it produces quite a lot of death spams. I think that's the majority of the issues that I've had to resolve. Like I said, I'm not very happy with these ender generators. They're not positive. They're not resource positive on the power. Having to run them like this, because I'm having to grind those. I'm actually happy that I've not had to worry about mob essence. I'm actually a little bit positive on the mob essence thanks to the cursed earth that I added into there. So that's not an issue, mob essence. But it doesn't quite produce quite enough ender pearls to keep itself running and the entire rest of the base right now. I don't know if that would be better if I had the 64X version of the generator or not, but I think I'm gonna think about some other way to possibly power those up. I'm up to 5 septuples, so 4 more to go before I can make my 64X generators anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna look for a different way to power those up legitimate RF power. But today, I promised I was going to show you the illegitimate power. So if we go into now, again, something else to if you upgrade from 1.0.0 to 1.0.1, make sure that you go into your configs and either delete your whole configs before you do the update, or do the update and go in and delete your power converters config folder in the configuration folder. Because if you do not do that, you will not have any recipes to make the power converters work. So if we look for the converter, like this right here, if you don't go in and delete those files, it'll keep the old configuration file from 1.0.0, and then in that configuration file, this does not have a crafting recipe. So, but as you can see, if you go ahead and delete that file, it will update. You can get multiple crafting recipes for it. I can either use diamond kinesis pipes and a block of redstone. Boy, that seems to be a little easy. I mean, I don't know about cheaper, but definitely easier than that. And then what is this over here? Battery boxes, tin plates, some gold cable diamond. Actually, this one seems even cheaper yet, maybe. A diamond, some redstone. I like that one. So we do that. We get ourselves an energy bridge, and that is the core of the energy converters mod. Now the next thing we're going to need for the energy converters mod is we're going to want an emitter, I think. Where's that? I want a steam emitter. Actually, I think the emitter basically is just to craft a consumer, and then you get the emitter. There we go. And what is the cheapest recipe here for this? How much is a commercial steam engine? So we got like 4 recipes for each of these things. So we're just gonna look. How much is a Buildcraft pump? That seems pretty cheap. We'll go with the Buildcraft version on this. So does that give me enough to make the Buildcraft pump? It does. There we go. And then I'm gonna need. Well, actually, I shouldn't need one of those. There should be one of those in there. There we go. That, and then finally, I should have some cobblestone pipe, some golden fluid pipe. Might actually be in there. I know. None of that's in there already. Thought I had some of that. Let me go see if it's in the Buildcraft lab. Now, one thing's nice about... Whoops. Wrong lab. Buildcraft lab is over here. One thing that's nice about the update is that now the Buildcraft recipes that weren't working before in here are now currently working. Anything in there? And we can make robots and all kinds of cool fun stuff to mess with Buildcraft. We might do some more of that. But it has allowed me to make facades to cover up those void pipes that I had on a couple of the machines in here. So, little things. What do I need for this? Let's look this up. Converters. I need some cobblestone pipe. For that I need some cobblestone transport pipe. That 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those. Let's see, and then I also gonna need the gold fluid pipe. So cactus. Do I have some cactus green? I do. 2, 3, and 4, and then gold pipe again. Is that, yeah? Plenty of gold pipe. All right. So, well, converter. There we go. Now we got a steam consumer, but what I actually want is a steam producer. And we'll see how this is going to work here in a little bit. Next thing I need is an RF consumer. Yeah. I think I need an RF consumer and maybe an RF producer too. Let's see here in a second. Yeah. So again, I'm going to go with this version. No. RF. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it was. Gold. Need another iron gear. There we go. Iron gear. RF. There it is. Golden gear. Give me that. And I should have all the rest of that stuff in here. Oh, I need to make more of the cobblestone pipe. 3 and 4. There we go, RF consumer, but really what I'm trying to do let's see here. You know, I think I actually need multiple steam producers. Let's see, because then I need 2 RF consumers. I'm trying to remember how I did this. I did this in a single player world. So let's get at least a couple minus. I need a consumer and a producer. That's what it is. An RF consumer and RF producer. So I should just make a whole bunch of those cobblestone pipes. And then get it out of the way. Get a whole bunch of these, because it looks like most of the recipes that I'm going to probably end up using use these. So let's go ahead and just make a bunch of those. There we go. And now I get another one of these, and I'm going to turn one of these into a producer. There we go. So I have a consumer and a producer, an energy bridge, and a steam producer. I need more steam producers. So I actually think I need 3 more steam producers for the design that I'm going to go with. Where is it at? Steam producer was down here, wasn't it? No. Lost it. What's it look like over here? It looks like that right there. The steam consumer. There's definitely no cheaper recipe, right? That's definitely not cheaper. This definitely not cheaper. And so yeah, the Buildcraft one's probably the cheapest one. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. So do I have? Well, I need more cobblestone fluid pipe. So I need more pipe. Oh, I could use beeswax. Could use beeswax. This is what I have though. So let's see. I need 3 more producers. So I need 12 more pipe. There we go, 12 more of those. Okay, there's 1, and then I need 2 more of these pumps. So at least 1 more iron gear, because I think I already should have another iron gear in there still. Whoops. Let's see, 1. Oh, and I ran out of picks available. So I should be able to, I'm sure I can make that. Wait, no? Okay, one more iron. What? Won't let me craft an iron pick? This is interesting. Guess this needs to be added to the list of bugs. Possibly. Not let me craft it there. Sometimes. Let me try something real quick. Let me try doing it in a standard vanilla crafting table, see if that makes a difference. No, will not let me do it. Okay, this is a mismatch issue between the client and the server is what this amounts to. We are aware of this, but NemSum has to give us the difference. So I have no idea what the crafting recipe for that is supposed to be, but there's definitely a different crafting recipe. I bet I know what it is. I bet if I say, okay, iron, if I do this with some sticks and maybe some GregTech tools, I think I'm going to need a file and a hammer. Probably have a hammer in here. That's another issue with the update, is that all of the nice textures that I did have are now gone. Nope, that's not it. It's possible that the vanilla recipe is completely disabled. Oops, I don't need that hammer. I just need to put my file away. Possibly that the vanilla recipe is completely disabled for pickaxes. So I am going to have to do something else for that one tool. But I can at least make the one more steam converter thing. Because I did have the... I thought I had an extra pump. No? Oh, I didn't take it all the way, did I? I only did that, so I need to do that. There we go. And so, yeah, a bunch of recipes may be broken. So I'm going to have to use a different recipe for the rest of this. So for the final one, let's see, how hard would this one be? It's a couple of iron gears, a sticky piston, some wrought iron, some plates. I might be able to do this one. Not that gear. Does it have to be that gear? Is it? It does have to be the rail. Well, it says iron railcraft gear, but which requires tin bushing railcraft. How is that even made? Interesting. Let's just try and make a regular gear, iron gear first, and see if that'll work in there. Is this this is a thermal expansion gear, but we'll see. So as you can see, lots of issues with this current pack with the recipes and stuff. Whoops. Let's see if I do that. It says no, I must have those other kind of gears. Will not accept I have everything else. Won't accept the iron gears from thermal expansion for that. Well, how hard are they to get? I mean, whoops. Well, it could do it like this with, what is this, tin, copper. That one seems kind of expensive. This one seems to be probably the second least expensive version. So how can I get this? Can I get this like this? It requires a file and a bushing. I'm guessing that bushing is probably the same as a ring. Let's find out. Oh, lots of fuel rods for my nuclear reactor, but I don't have nothing to fill them with right now. What kind of ring was it? Converter. I mean, what material was one? Material-wise, it was a tin. Let's see if running this through gives me that stuff. We'll just throw one in there, see what we get for tin rings. See if it'll work for that recipe. Maybe, maybe not. And that gives us a bunch of that's some tin rings. That's definitely not what we needed. Put those up. Don't forget to put the plate back in, or the extruder plate back in here, so we don't get lost. Oh boy, this is turning into more trouble than I thought it was going to be. Anyway. Let's go ahead and try to make one of these then. And I keep running into needing a file in the system. File. Okay, tin rings, got them. Then this. 1, 2 of those. Really hope this works now. There we go. And now I should be able to make my final one. There we go, steam converter. Now I want these all to be emitters. Or producers, basically. They produce steam from the power that's in the energy bridge. One RF producer, one RF consumer, 4 steam things. Now all I need is some steam dynamos. We've got 2 of them in there. Probably gonna need to make some more. Probably don't have the stuff to make those off. Let's see, we need 1, 2 more. And where did it go? Steam dynamo. And perfect. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those. And we should be getting our other 2 steam dynamos. Nice. Okay. These apparently, some of these are not the same. One of these things is not like the other. They probably either have like energy stored in them or something, or possibly I've upgraded them with something. I don't know. But anyway, let's head down and get this set up. Now that we've got it, the parts to get our illegitimate power system going. I won't put it directly below here because I want this to be... so our RF producer is going to connect to... Well, that's not going to connect. I need an energy node there. Actually, you know what? I can do this, and I can replace this energy pipe here later with a energy... Actually, I have the room. Maybe I should start at the bottom. RF consumer. Yeah. Then energy bridge. Then steam producers. Now that the energy bridge is there, it is actually a functioning thing. Steam producers. Now, dynamo. Dynamo. Oops. Dynamo and final dynamo. I can expand on this later. And then finally an RF producer on the top to output the RF. So what's going to happen is these guys are going to get steam from the system. Maybe. This one says it has energy, but it's not outputting it. Did I do something right here? Steam dynamo. We got up, down, no link, no link. Interesting. This one says it has some power, so it should be sending it straight into there. I'll just take that out for a moment so I can get down to here. Consumer, that's the consumer. Well, let's try something real quick. If we go get a bucket of water and a little bit of fuel to put in one of those. Now, like I said, I tried this single player, seemed to work just fine, but we'll see. Get some coal coke. That's probably good power for it. We'll go with this one. Put that in there. Put that in there. It's going to produce some steam. It's going to make some power. There we go. Definitely, is this right? Steam producers, yes. This is now getting steam. It's producing power. Yeah, it's working. This one's upgraded a little bit. That's what the difference here is, I think. This one has, yeah, this one has secondary transmission coil in it for additional power. I don't think the rest of these are augmented. Of course, the ones I just made are obviously not augmented. And if we look in here, we are now full charged out of a whole bunch of RF. So now if I go and where do I need a something? I need a energy retrieval pipe. Let's see if we can find that energy extractor pipe. There we go. Can we make one of those? Yes. Perfect. Come down here, and if I put that there, hopefully, it might take a minute for this to link up. I can increase that speed by coming up here. I think I should still have some speed upgrades available. Yeah, a few of them. Because our power network is quite kind of, you know, large, because the pipes go all over the base. If I go ahead and put these speed upgrades in there, it should find that energy extraction pipe a little faster. So I'll come back up here, and hopefully in a moment it'll find this and drain it out. Input limited. It says no link, but I don't think that's correct. Can go ahead and put those back. Well, I don't know. Let's see, did it find it yet? It should have found it by now. I might need to, instead of having this connected directly to it, I might need to use an energy cell there instead. It should be able to connect to an energy cell. Yeah, this cell's draining, so we're definitely not getting power out of that system yet. This is an RF producer, but this these may not be compatible. This is producing plenty of power. I'm going to take that out. It no longer needs that. It no longer needs fuel or anything. It's going to be fed its steam back through the system. But I think I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm probably going to have to use a cell there. I think I should have some cells in here that I can maybe use for temporary. Still not outputting anything. Remove that for a second, put that there. Make sure that this is set to receive on the bottom. See if that starts putting out. Yeah, it's starting to fill up. There we go. And then if I put this on the top, it should be able to recognize that as a power. So there we go. And now it's found it, and it's starting to drain the power out of that. It should be moving it up into the rest of the system. So there we go. I'll have to get a bigger cell here, and because this is right now that's limited in its output to 400 RF. I believe we can output more, especially. Well, maybe until I get these steam dynamos upgraded or more of them, or make this system mass bigger. Using more steam dynamos, because I could put steam dynamo, well, 4 more of them, possibly a bunch more of them. But you can see that this thing is a positive power. It will continue to produce. Should. And what's going to help is once I get all these upgraded to their full potential. And then it'll definitely produce more power than it consumes. But basically a little infinite power loop right here. And once this actually drains down low enough, these should still keep putting in power. Right now they can't produce the 400 that this is asking for, or accepting. What is... Oh, not too close to the reactor. Took some heat damage. But yeah, there we go. Cheaty power. Like I said, I have to get all of the augmentations in this to make it fully, to make it really worth it. So I'm gonna do that, but I'll do that after the episode. There's one last thing I wanted to check on before I wrap this up, because the update, apparently somebody was saying that all their blue power stuff disappeared during the update. And I was using some blue power stuff over in the Nether for that thing, for my door. Plus, someone commented in one of the in that video where I showed it that I never actually showed it working with coins. So let's go see if it works now. And it'll just take me a moment to get over there. I'll be back as soon as I'm over there. Okay, I'm back over here in the end, and everything looks normal from this side. Of course, I can't see if any of the blue power parts are missing. Now, one of the issues that I had after I recorded that other video and I did a little bit more troubleshooting just to make sure that, or did a little more testing to make sure that everything was working right. One of the issues that I did find is that one of the blue power parts that I had, it's a toggle bus, would reset itself to its default positioning, like from when it, like when you place it down is in a certain way. Every time the chunk would load and unload, it would reset. So what I had to do is just turn it around in order to get it to work right. Otherwise, every time somebody came in, the door would open or the door would close, depending on what state it was in last. So you can see I added an industrial information panel for the sign instead, because what happens is every time somebody teleports over here, anything that's in this 5x5 area, which included the frame that I had around there and the sign, it destroys anything in that area. So I put this in the wall with a nice message. Place a GT credit in the coin slot to gain access to the end. The coin slot is obviously a dropper there. So one of the things I do have with me, hopefully I have everything I need for this. So hopefully everything's still up there and working. So if I put a GT credit in there and wait a few seconds, and there we go. Door's open. And a few seconds after the door opens, the door should close. Just give it a few, this is like 12 seconds. There it goes. Okay, so everything's still working just fine. I'll go ahead and give you one last look at how this works. I switched these over to pulse formers because that when I was trying to figure out why it wasn't working, that was something that was suggested. And then I just didn't bother changing them back because they still work the way they are. The remote is gone. I don't need that. I can make GT credits, no problem. And this right here was the part that was the issue, this toggle latch. So all I had to do was rotate it 180 degrees, and then it no longer had an issue with the chunk loading and unloading and having it reset. So just close that back up. And of course, right here is where the GT credits go. Looks like somebody else has already used it once. There we go. And now we can get up on out of here. But yeah, I wanted to show you that it was actually working. I wanted to double check, make sure that the update didn't cause any issues with all of the wires and stuff like that. I think the only issue with those wires is if they had another micro block part in the same block as them. So I didn't have that issue with any of mine. Mine are just, like I said, they're just the wire by themselves in that block. And same with all of the other parts that I used. So yeah, we're all good. Still working great. We still have access to the end. And yeah, we have a spot over there. But that's going to change anyway because we actually are going to go that direction anyhow. So apparently we've decided to split up the end in different directions based on, because there's four main companies, so we're each taking a cardinal direction. I guess we took west. I guess that is in our direction. So that is okay. Well, anyway, that's our direction, west, over that way. Everything in that direction is ours. And this the main island here with the obsidian towers, I think that NEM has some plans to do in some kind of communal structure building thing here. I don't know if he's going to continue using my little design over here or not. We'll see. Maybe he'll show it in his video too or whatever. But anyway, there you go. It works. I wanted to show you guys that it does in fact work. You put a coin in it, lets you out, and then it closes back up. And yeah, I've been over here a lot, riling up the Enderman because I needed the Ender Pearls because my system over there isn't power positive. But now that I have that little booster system going, and I'm going to go back and enhance it with all kinds of augmentations in those steam engines, steam dynamos. I should have no problem keeping up with our demands of the base. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. You guys are too noisy. I'm gonna go through here. They're too noisy. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Be sure and leave a like, a comment, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. And even if you didn't leave me a comment anyway, let me know how you feel I could do better in the future. Until next time, I will catch you later.